Yo, what's going on guys, it's Grouch here, and today I'm bringing you part 2 to the Attack on Titan Hidden References video. In this video we're going to be counting down 10 more references to Attack on Titan that can be found in other works. If you guys haven't checked out the first video, you can click the link on screen or in the description to go do so now. With that being said, let's just get into it. Number 10. No Writ. In this anime, a girl by the name of Ringo Kinoshita has just transferred to the same school as Kosaku Heida, our series' main protagonist. Now this girl is pretty different from your usual transfer student, as she is actually a pretty famous idol who went by the name of Yuka Kusakabe. So to see her retire and suddenly enroll into architecture school is pretty surprising to say the very least. Kosaku, who just happens to be a longtime fan and admirer, tries to learn exactly why it is she suddenly dropped all she was doing and instead chose to live a normal life. This, however, did not sit well with his long-term childhood friend Minori, who has had a thing for Kosuke since they were kids. Jealous, she decides to challenge Ringo in order to determine whether or not she is eligible to win Kosuke's affections. The challenges are pretty ridiculous, but the reference we're looking for can be seen in episode 3, right before the start of the third challenge. Since they were going to be planting rice, both participants were instructed to wear clothes that they didn't mind getting wet, to which they did. However, another student, known as Kei, also decided to dress for the occasion, which was a tad bit unnecessary.
What's wrong? Have you seen yourself? I mean, okay, yes, technically it is a bathing suit, so it qualifies as appropriate for getting wet in and all, but other than that, nothing about what you have on isn't wrong. I can't unsee this man not cool.
Well...
Number 9. Wake Up Girl Zoo. Now, I'm not 100% sure what is up with this anime series, other than the fact that it's a short 3-minute long 10-episode spin-off to Wake Up Girls. In episode 6, a small zoo is in danger of closing down, so it's up to main characters Nanami, Mio, and Minami to get business booming. They start by trying to hand out flyers to passerbyers but get mistaken for real beasts and scare them away, because I mean, just look at how menacing they really look. Anyways, not long after, a TV helicopter starts flying overhead and the girls try to attract its attention, but ultimately end up failing. Now this is where things get pretty weird, as rather than accepting failure, they somehow manage to grow to a gigantic size and accidentally destroy the city. However, the reference is in the manner in which one of the girls, specifically Nanami, manages to transform. She bites into one of her hands, which results in sparks coming from all over her body, which causes her to grow. Any fans of Attack on Titan will tell you that this is a reference to Eren, who does the exact same thing whenever he needs to transform into his Titan form. Number 8. Matsu Son. Now, episode 1 of Matsu Son is pretty weird to say the very least. In fact, it's probably one of the strangest on this list. For those who don't know, Matsu Son is a sort of continuation and new version of Osomatsu-kun, a series that used to air back around the 1960s and 80s. This new series follows these 6 brothers 10 years after the end of the original series and picks up with them as now adults. The episode is pretty interesting in the sense that it breaks the fourth wall, with the brothers aware of the fact that they are going to be appearing in a new anime. However, they are afraid that after being gone so long, their sense of style will no longer appeal to today's audience. What ends up happening is that they do a complete revamp of everything you can think of, eventually leading to a pretty significant number of references to other anime. So much in fact that the episode had to be pulled off of Crunchyroll for copyright. I'm sure you can guess which anime also happened to be a part of that bunch. Number 7. Own Chiqui. In this anime series, we follow main character Kinjiro, who is a bit of an oddball when it comes to anything that has to do with girls. He suffers from genophobia and seems to get a nosebleed whenever any girl touches him, which I know would be embarrassing for any guy to have to go through. After discovering that Subaru, the supposed male butler serving Kanade, is actually a girl, he is put in a situation in which he cannot escape, and now must be monitored closely to ensure that he never reveals her secret. For this reason, Kanade decides to send them on a sort of date in episode 2, in order to help Kinjiro cure his genophobia. Right as they are about to set out to do so, Kanade can be seen talking to them over cell phone while sitting down at a manga cafe. And if you look closely on the table she's sitting at, you can spot what appears to be the first volume of Attack on Titan.
Now then, Subaru. Strip down.
I understand. As you wish.
What the heck are you doing?
Goodness, not in the middle of the street. Very well. I'll find somewhere to change.
Number 6. One Punch Man. Now, One Punch Man is pretty well known for having a reference here and there, however there are actually 2 different times the series nods to Attack on Titan, specifically episodes 1 and 2. In the first episode, one of the villains' appearance looks very similar to a Titan. I mean, it's pretty difficult to see it as anything other than that, though I'm sure some of you may disagree and try to claim it's just coincidence. As for episode 2, there is a certain scene in which Saitama's face comes out from underneath some dirt, with a very bizarre facial expression. This highly resembles that of the Wall Titan, which we see at the very end of the first season. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this one down below.
Reigns in your brawn. By combining the greatest of minds and the strongest of bodies this world has to offer, the 2 of us will conquer the earth and rule together as kings. We're unstoppable!
Number 5. Assassination Classroom. Like One Punch Man, Assassination Classroom, at least from what I've heard, is chock full of references to other anime, so it's no surprise it ended up on this list. The reference isn't anything too special and is actually pretty obvious, so I'm sure most fans probably already know about it, but I decided to include it on this list anyways.
Trouble is, I've only ever seen the guy eat burgers and cup ramen, so...
Doesn't exactly set the mood for a romantic evening.
This match was doomed from the start!
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe the problem is Mr. Cook.
Number 4. The Amazing World of Gumball. You heard me right, there is in fact a reference to Attack on Titan in the popular cartoon The Amazing World of Gumball. Now if you missed it, I definitely wouldn't blame you, as I'm sure only a few actually caught it, considering how short it really is. The reference appears in the episode The Nobody, as Gumball and Darwin are running after the character Rob, who was trying to escape them after he was found hiding in their basement. During the chase, Gumball performs a really bizarre looking run and makes a very disturbing face during one scene. This scene looks very similar to one of the abnormal titans we see in season 1, who runs in the same manner. What do you guys think about this one? I definitely want to hear your feedback down below.
He wasn't much of an explanation! I think he's more scared of us than we are of him. Let's run less scary!
Get away from me, you creepos!
Number 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now this entry I stumbled upon pretty late while working on this video, but after seeing it I knew I had to include it on this list. In the 2012 version of TMNT episode Attack of the Mega Shredder, Leonardo and Mikey are fighting this giant monster thing using what appears to be grapples that mimic the effect of ODM gear. After seeing Mikey get eaten, Leonardo goes into total god mode, with one moment strongly reminding me of the scene where Levi engages the female Titan. I don't care what your arguments are, but judging by the episode's name and what's going on, this one most definitely has to be a reference. Number 2. Keijo. And a million exclamation points. Now, I don't know exactly what words to use for this anime, as it's very different. I mean, it's technically a sports manga series, but it may not be the kind you were expecting. The point of this series basically centers around a fictional woman's only sport named Keijo, where players stand on a floating platform and aim to push their opponents into the water. Now, here's the twist, they're only allowed to use their breasts and their butts to do so. Yeah, the reference is pretty unique to say the very least. Number 1. Kiss Him Not Me. Now, I've actually mentioned this anime in a previous video back when I made my hidden references to Black Butler. However, what I didn't realize is that it actually had a couple of references to Attack on Titan as well. In episode 3, the series transition, or cut, I'm not really sure what you call them, main character Kai Sarinuma can be seen wearing a military uniform and holding a potato, a reference to Sasha. This is because Yu Kobayashi, who does the voicing for Kai in the Japanese version, also voices everyone's favorite potato girl. The character Nakano Amine can also be seen cosplaying as Mikasa throughout the entire episode, with Igarashi also seen wearing a uniform for a good while. Now, I know there's one more somewhere in the anime where Kei makes a reference to Captain Levi, but for some reason I just couldn't remember what episode it was, so I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to help me out on this one.
Looks like you have 4 dates lined up with 4 hotties. Lucky dog!
I'm freaking out and I need your help! I have no idea how to deal with being alone with a guy!
You'll be fine.
Anyways guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you could drop me a like and comment the word potato down below to let me know you made it to the end. Believe it or not, I actually still have a couple of references left over, so if I ever uncover some new ones like I did today, maybe I can make a part 3 to this video. Though that definitely won't be for a while. Big thank you to everyone who supports me and the content I make over on Patreon, and with that being said guys, I will thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.